Hello and welcome to Raven's Arcana. I am Raven, and we are going to perform a tarot reading on your destiny, your fate, versus your free will, or your choices that you get to make as you are on your journey in this existence. So we will deal out a spread on the top, which once again will represent fate and destiny, and then underneath that, we will have what you can do, your free will, your choices, to essentially affect how you experience or how you go through that journey. Hope everyone is doing well, hanging in there, having a good week, and let's get down to business. So the first card on the path of your fate or your journey is Judgment. We follow that with the Chariot, and then we end the first portion of that reading with the Two of Pentacles. So Judgment is, I think you agreed, as did all of us, agree to come back, to essentially resurrect, to learn something new, to get back into this human existence to learn something. Now, with the Chariot card, we have willpower, we have perseverance. Your destiny is to relive certain moments, relearn certain things in this human experience that weren't learned in a previous one. Your destiny is to persevere, to have the willpower, the strength, the courage to continue on, to complete this journey. And with the Two of Pentacles, we are looking for balance. We're recognizing duality. And the Pentacles represent the human existence. We are balancing our fate and our destiny with our free will and our choices. Also, we are a part of something bigger than us. We are an individual. We are also part of the collective. We have choices, things to do, tasks to complete, trials as an individual. But that also affects the collective or the environment that we surround ourselves in. We follow the Two of Pentacles with the Nine of Swords. So if we're talking about fate, about destiny, we are meant to go through trials that cause us anxiety, that cause us stress, that affect us on a mental level. We are expected to work through those. We are expected to have the courage, the perseverance, the bravery, the willpower to continue and push through those times of mental chaos. On the left of the Judgment card, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is the recognition that when we talk about the collective, the environment, the universe, other people, we have an influence on other people's minds, on other people's hearts, on other people's physical and spiritual existence. They also have an influence. The universe, the environment, the world also has an influence on our minds, on our hearts, on our physical and spiritual health. And perhaps the trials, the challenges, the tests that we have agreed to come back, reincarnate, and take that journey to experience and push past and learn from and move through, was that we need to learn how to mentally work through problems, work through inner concerns, and also use that experience, that knowledge, that wisdom that we have gained to help others, to help the collective, and realize we are all connected in this physical existence, but we are connected mentally. We are connected emotionally. We have physical connections. We have primal urges. And we all definitely have a spiritual connection. And it is not easy to complete this path. We are not born into this existence with all the knowledge ready at our fingertips. It is hard for us to remember sometimes that we agreed to come back and essentially perfect a portion of our soul, to learn certain things about ourselves and the big picture. Now, if we're talking about free will, and underneath that Four of Pentacles, where we realize our effects, the cause and effect of the individual versus the collective and vice versa. Our free will, our choice, allows us to realize that there is influence everywhere. The Queen of Pentacles is influential. It is the home. What does a home mean? What does a family mean? How do you intuit the connection with everyone else? With your neighborhood, with pets, with the environment, with the universe, with the stars, with astrology? Once again, you have influence over others and things that are bigger than you, but things that are bigger than you and others have influence over you. And our free will allows us to make choices based on that knowledge that are positive. That yes, things get tough, things get stressful. You become anxious. You become stressed. But it's your choices that realize, that realization that your next step not only affects you, but it affects others. It changes energy. And we have to keep that balance. We have to juggle our path, our fate, our journey with not only the journey of others, but the realization that we have choices to make. We have actions to take. Underneath that judgment, that resurrection, reincarnation, that change, that coming back here to complete the task of this human existence, that I do believe you agreed to embark on, we have the Seven of Swords. There will be choices you make that you deceive yourself. You deceive others. You are not honest. You are not truthful with yourself about certain situations. You can be distracted. You can be manipulated. You can be taken off that path. But once again, your path is fate. Your path is destiny. You can branch off and refuse to acknowledge your connection to everything bigger than you. You can choose not to deal with stress, anxiety, depression. I mean, anything that you would consider negative on the mental and emotional spectrum. And that's typically what we do. And perhaps this is what we were supposed to learn. Do not deceive yourself. Once you know you are on a certain path and you refuse to take the tests, to go through the challenges, to persevere, to have the bravery, the courage, you will have to learn that some other way. It will come back around. The universe requires balance. Underneath the Chariot, underneath that willpower, courage, bravery, we have the Page of Pentacles. That yes, you make choices that manifest in a way that you have control. You can control how you think about certain things, how you perceive, how you intuit. You can control your actions. You can actually manifest. If your destiny, if your fate is at point B, and as you were born, as you progress, you are at point A, there are going to be points along the way that you have to hit. If you refuse to acknowledge, to see them, or you are clouded and you miss it, which we all do, those points will still come back. If you veer, you're still going to end up at point B. And in between, the 1, 2, 3, 4s, they will come back. That's how karma works. Karma is a part of your journey, that you were supposed to learn something. You were supposed to go through events. They're not always happiness and joy and sunshine and roses. But if we are able to remove the self-deception, the self-destructive behavior, then we can manifest visions, pathways that do make it a little bit easier for us to complete this journey. Underneath that balance of not only the individual versus the collective, fate versus your choices or your free will, we have the 9 of Cups. I call this the fat and happy card. You are supposed to have your emotional cups filled as much as possible. You are supposed to experience the spectrum. But as this is fat and happy, meaning you are supposed to indulge in good food, good wine, great relationships, listen to music, enjoy art, enjoy nature. You don't just have a list that you're born with, and when you realize you're on a path that you agreed to, you just try to check it off as fast as possible. That's not how it works. Typically, your challenges, your trials, come at a time when you think you're on top of everything. When you think you have everything licked. And you tell yourself, I'm on the right path. There's nothing that can derail me. The universe will hand you a challenge. That yes, your ultimate goal, typically, most of ours is to remain joyful, to remain happy, to remain loving, compassionate. And it is through those trials, those challenges, which typically involve other people and relationships, yourself and others, that the trials manifest. They come in. How do I work through this? When I do get depressed, anxious, sad, angry, stressed, it's a nightmare situation. How do I realize that we are all just trying to find joy and happiness emotionally? We are all on a path that we agreed to. How do we get back to the fat and happy? And the Page of Wands tells us that our actions, our choices, come in the form of the realization that we are all divine. You have a divine spark in you, just like everyone else does. You have passion. You should act in a passionate manner. Then not only once you recognize everything, that you are connected to the moon and stars and earth and other people and plants and animals and everything of that nature, or in nature, that divine spark is pushing you to be courageous and feed your passion. Even if you know in the past you've been hurt. Relationships have been hard. You have either deceived yourself or others have deceived you, manipulated situations. There are no shortcuts. And I feel like this, as I say that out loud, the Seven of Swords almost feels like a shortcut card in this reading. Every action has a reaction. Every shortcut has an effect on you. If you do something half-assed, the task is not completed. If you cheat or attempt to cheat fate or the universe, it cannot be tricked. If you don't learn the lesson and pretend to complete the task, then the lesson presents itself again as you agreed to learn it in the most pure and honest way. Let's get some more clarification how we tie these in together. So we have the Queen of Swords, which is perception. And the swords are dualistic in nature. It is communication. It is communication of the universe to you about your path, about you being perceptive enough to realize that this is a trial, this is fate, this is something that is supposed to happen so you can learn a lesson. And as always, the queens are influential. It's the mental game. Are you being perceptive? Are you looking at the signs? Are you realizing the law of cause and effect, of action-reaction, of externally on you and individually on the external? Once you realize that, can you muster the courage, the bravery, the strength to move forward? Can you manifest an easier way to attain your goals, your dreams, in a way that is not a shortcut, self-destructive, self-deception? And we have the Emperor. The ultimate Mars energy, the ultimate potential. The Aries energy, bringing the hammer down. This not only signifies your power, your strength that you were given, you were blessed with. You have all the tools necessary to complete this journey. But no one ever said it was going to be easy. No one ever said you're going to just tackle every challenge and move forward as like an expert. But you do have the tools. You do have that ultimate potential, the blessings, the gifts, the strength, the power, the energy to do this. And also with the Aries energy, the universe, the collective, has the power, has the control, has the influence to make sure that you stay on task. For example, if you go through a lot of stress, anxiety, depression, and you don't address it, you know, and the universe knows, you have the strength to get through that, to process it, to analyze it, to learn from it, to learn what you can do differently next time. If you continuously put that into excess baggage, if you continuously distract yourself, deceive yourself, refuse to acknowledge the connection, the lessons, and neglect that fire, that passion in your gut, that divine spark you were born with, then it will come back around. Because as you put things that are difficult in the back of your mind to suppress them, which is required sometimes to get through to the next level and then work on it later, if you continuously fill up, we'll call it your excess luggage, it becomes full. It becomes cyclical, that you go through sadness, depression, anxiety. And you're presented with that because either you took a shortcut to attempt to trick fate or your destiny, or you haven't dealt with it. You will learn the lessons. And if you do not, then you will come back again. We'll get one more card to tie in fate and free will. We have the world. Everything in the universe. Saturn governs the world. There are rules. There are universal laws. There are human laws. But this is also cycles. This is also time. The realization that you are a creature in a physical form, in an emotional form, in a mental form, and in a spiritual form. And the universe does not give you things to learn that it knows you cannot handle. As Saturn can be constrictive, you are bound to your agreement that you came back to learn certain lessons. And also recognizing that we all have different lessons to learn. We have similar lessons to a lot of people that we have in our lives that we can share experiences from, learn from, complete the tasks, and move forward. But the more we concentrate on the external and less on the internal, meaning ourselves, well, this person gets everything they want. This person always has happiness, always has financial stability, always can buy anything they want. And I just sit here and suffer and suffer and suffer. Does it take some more courage, more willpower, more perseverance, more strength to get through life? Absolutely. Do others have more loss than you do? Do you have more loss than others? More sadness, more depression? Sure. But we don't know what their path or their journey or their fate, what they agreed to accomplish in this world, what that contract looked like. We don't know anything about another person unless they share it with us. So be mindful that you came here to complete certain tasks, to go through certain challenges, to learn about how to manage the mental aspects that could be perceived as negative and how to work through those, how to balance that out, how to realize that we are influenced by others and by the external, the collective, and we in turn influence our environment and other people as well. The little lies we tell ourselves, the self-deception, the manipulation, that, let's be honest, we perform on ourselves and other people, I promise you, will start looking like you got to come back again. Or you get presented with those tasks over and over again until you complete it. Now, we can 100% manifest if we are cognizant of everything that's going on. An easier way to address, to learn before we have to take the test again, or go through the challenges or the trials. We try to remain happy and joyful and are cognizant of how our actions and our words, our emotions affect other people's happiness. But we are all divine. We all have a certain passion in our gut and that flame. Are you snuffing out your own flame and the flames of others? Or if you see someone with a dim light, or that their light is out, do you use your spark, your flame, to help rekindle, relight theirs? So be perceptive. Pay attention to the signs. Realize the individual versus the collective, or the relationship, or you are your own person, but you are also part of relationships and society and the universe. And persevere. Have the courage, have the bravery to move forward, to complete your tasks, as difficult as they may be, because this is what you agreed to come back to accomplish. All right, thank you so much for hanging out. If you enjoy the video, give it a like. If you enjoy the content and are not subscribed, you can always do the thing, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you would like. And take care of yourself. Make good choices. Be the divine person that is inspired, is motivated, is courageous and brave. And have a good rest of your day.